Adam?
Hi, it's Adam Fleming from the BBC. Just about the protests by dairy farmers in the UK. Is the Commission aware of those protests? Any comments on the ongoing issue about the price of milk in British supermarkets? And also there's been some people in the UK saying, oh, the EU should intervene. I realise that's a big question. Can you give us some clues about actually what supports Europe could offer farmers who are involved in all of this? I realise that's
Right, I'm looking at Enrico, who's standing in this week for Danielle, to enlighten us on dairy farmers.
Okay, so we don't have, direct comments on this protests, but we are aware of the difficult situation faced by producers from different sectors in several member states. The Commission is closely monitoring the situation and remains in contact with member states and stands ready to engage in constructive discussion with the member states to find the adequate answers. The Commission is looking also carefully into specific requests received from different member states on these agricultural matters, and we have contact with different capitals which are ongoing and several bilateral meetings. And you know that there is an extraordinary agricultural council that was called by the Luxembourg presidency for September 7th. And this will be the occasion to address the issue of certain problems that there could be on certain markets. And we have, though, to keep in mind that the particular pressure for some sectors like dairy is due to a large set of factors. So we have to analyze thoroughly the situation because there is price volatility, oversupply, slowdown of export, and on this there could be also the effect then, these effects exacerbated by the Russian ban, but it's not necessarily the only, the only issue. So the Commission already adopted some measure months ago, and so we have to see. In many cases, the protests are also directed to the supply chain, and this also has to be analyzed because farmers deserve to be paid a fair price for their production. And the Commission continues to review the situation also concerning the food supply chain in order to determine whether additional measures are needed. And it also stands ready to support producers acting to reinforce their bargaining position via producer organizations. So this is the whole picture, and I think, as I said, that the Agricultural Council of September 7 could be an occasion to have a general view.
Thank you for that very elaborate question. Let's have a follow-up.
It was a very elaborate and full answer.
Sorry.
Just a very quick follow-up, if I may. You said there have been requests received from different member states. Has the UK government made any requests, or have there been any requests in the UK? And what are those requests? And you said that producers deserve a fair price. Are you worried that producers in the UK aren't getting a fair price?
Well, no, this was a general point. I'm not aware of any specific requests, formal requests by the UK. I will double check, but I'm not aware of it. There are, though, informal contacts with member states on this issue. So it's among them, obviously, with the British government.
A follow-up, maybe not so much on the specific request, as Enrico has already said, he'll follow up.
Quick follow-up as well. Just if you can give us the list of countries that we have contacts with, and like I've just come back from holiday, so I'm not aware. Do you know when the Extraordinary Council of Agriculture was formally convened, and when it was convened? So for the 7th of September, but when did we know about this? And also, the Spanish government, I believe, is defending the idea of getting a minimum price for milk. as it's already the case in France? Is this something that the Commission sees as a possible way forward, also taking into account that you are defending a fair price for producers? Thank you.
Well, I don't think we are still, as I said, in a moment of contacts with the member states, informal contacts. I don't think we are at the point to define the idea of a minimum price for milk, but we'll discuss the ideas on the table at the next Agricultural Council, as I said. When it was decided, I don't know. It was called by the Luxembourg presidency. I don't remember exactly the dates.
Clémence is also in the room, the press officer, yes, who can get back to you and clear up.
At least, you know, these are informal contacts. I said we are meeting with the capitals. I cannot give the full, complete list. These are informal contacts going on with the several capitals. Yes.
Okay. Is it on the same topic, Rick? Okay.
Has the French, two questions, has the French government now communicated its measures that it has taken on milk and pork, I think? And secondly, what kind of measures are you preparing or looking at to reinforce the position of the producers?
You mean on milk or?
No, you mentioned reinforce the position of producers. I think that was more in general.
Well, I was speaking in general since some measures were taken, for instance, on the pig meat sector. You remember there was a private storage aid in March. I mean, there could have been different measures on different, I was talking about all the sectors. For the dairy sector, of course, here there was a particular pressure, and the absence of the Russian market played a role, but it's not the only factor, as I said, because there is also the overall situation of the dairy sector at world level and a slowdown in import of some relevant markets like China. So despite though this short-term volatility, the Commission believes that the long-term perspective for this market are positive. On the French, no, I'm not aware of measures that have been notified by the French at the moment. I imagine that once again the Council of September 7 could be an occasion to talk about it. But I don't think that we will double check you. But I don't think any measure were notified at the moment.
Okay, any other questions for Enrico? Let's move over there because you've already had 2 follow-ups. We'll give you another one once we're done with this round.
I'd like to try again on the requests, because I know that you said that you had no information on the request from the UK, but could you give us any other countries maybe who sent those and when those requests were sent? Thank you.
No, there were not, I mean, formal requests. As I said, there are contacts with member states to monitor the situation and to have then a general review at the next Agricultural Council, but we didn't have notified specific requests I can report you of.
Okay, I think that's cleared the question of specific requests for all member states now. Anything else for Enrico we can help you with today? Or Danielle, for that matter? No? Okay.